Hey guys, welcome to Walk with Will. Did you know 20 million homes were sold to investors and they now own them? But guess what? They're looking to sell now. And the good thing is you can be one to get them. Now, when investors come into the towns, they be going from different states coming into your state. Everybody's like, why are they coming to my state? But you have to remember, they're going to a lot of different states. Some states actually have more investors than others. I'm here in the Houston area, surrounding areas, and I see tons of investors coming in, swooping up properties, and half of them are holding on to them. So the thing is that this is not a year for 2022 renters, because what's happening is the inflation is high, and for renters, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're better off purchasing a home at this moment, because what you're paying in rent, you can definitely probably get it into a mortgage or a few dollars off. But just remember, I'm not a loan officer, so I don't know the actual rates and the pricing of payments. But just remember, when you do talk to a loan officer, they're not qualifying you on the price of the home. They're qualifying you based on what you can pay. Now, there are some small impacts, long-term impacts, and short-term impacts. And when you talk about short-term impacts, you're looking at higher pricing. Now, with the higher pricing, of course, investors come in and they're bidding so much over, making it hard, especially for the first-time home buyers, to come in and purchase a home. They're coming in, swooping them up, and buying all of them. By them buying everything up, that's reducing our inventory. And when you reduce the inventory, that means all the other prices are going up. Now you have new home builders, they're gonna have to go up. But it's not just because the inventory from the investors, it's because of the lack of supplies. You have your lumber, you have your brick, you have your sand, yes, sand. A lot of people don't realize that sand has a whole lot to do with the home. Sand makes bricks, sand's part of glass. There's so much that's involved in there. Then you have shortage of paint, you have shortage of windows, you just have a shortage of everything, because the brick you pick out today may not be the brick that you end up with at the end. And now you come into the housing crisis. The housing crisis is depending on how you're looking at it. Now, for sellers, this is a great time. Sell. All the numbers, all the data right now is saying to sell. You still can get top dollar, but you have to remember, the longer you wait, it may take a dip, because when things do cool off, it's not going to drop, it's going to level off. Everybody's looking at this big crash. Well, I don't have a crystal ball. I can only go by the data that's given to me. And as I know, feds are getting ready to meet. And what that means is they're going to make a decision on rates. Are they going to hike them, or are they going to drop them? That's going to be something that we're going to talk about probably in another video. But right now, everything is leading to them being hiked up a little bit higher. And because of what's going on in Europe over there, in Russia, Ukraine, that's going to be a big play into the factor as well. But you got to remember, investors own so many properties across the United States. It's not just in Texas or Atlanta or Washington. So when investors come in, they don't want to lose money. So they're going to definitely look at the market as well, hold on to it, and then probably sell before they see something coming. Then you have the long term, you have the volatility, and also a greater risk of crash. Now, what we mean by that, because investors have so much control of the housing market, if they actually put 6 to 7% of their homes back on the market, that's 1 million homes. That means supply will be there, and for you to demand it. So guys, you have to remember, everything is a yin and yang, and everything happens because it's supposed to happen that way. Now, we can't control how life goes. We can't control that investors are coming in and swooping up things. But you also got to remember, a lot of these investors are smaller. They're mom and pop. Because when you have the smaller investors that are mom and pop, you also have the tendency to take a chance of losing. So when they're losing as well because of inflation, gas prices, food, things like that, those investors may fall into that category and have to sell just to survive. So you have to look at the whole big picture. It's not all about just one thing. And for the builders, they are building, and the shortage of the supply, the labor, the things that they have to do. They're supplying all this, the homes to us, but they're also passing along the inflation to the consumer, which is you, the buyer. But you have to realize that if you have a good loan officer that can actually help you with putting something together, getting the plan together, making sure your credit's together, making sure that you can afford a home, that's the best thing you should do first. Then you talk to a real estate agent that knows the area, that can help you, making sure that you're not paying overpriced for the home and put you into something that you can afford within your budget. Yes, I am a real estate agent here in the Houston and surrounding areas, but talk to somebody that you like and trust, because at the end of the day, you're the one that have to stay in that home. We're not going to pay the bills for you. You're going to have to. So make sure at one, you can find a real good loan officer. Two, get a real estate agent that's going to help you find the house that you deserve. Because everyone, I feel, my opinion, everyone deserves a home of their own. Somewhere that they can come and say, whew, this is what I worked for. Where you can, even if you work from home, because the numbers have grown for people working at home just due to the crisis that's been going on for the past 2 years. So there's a lot of reasons of buying a home. There's a reason to upsize, there's a reason to downsize, but every which way you want to go, we're here to help you. And remember, when you have will, you have a way. My name is Will.